Lapland, please bring me your energy. Can I please have a piece of Lapland in me? Yes, sir. Because today, reindeer, baby reindeer liver, probably the best thing you can get from Lapland. There's probably a couple other good things, but I haven't had this before on the channel because I have had these things plenty of times on my own. Just had reindeer liver 2 weeks ago, but this is the last one of my stash. I'm running through my stash of the reindeer livers, calf reindeer livers, of course. So I thought, let's do a little base science salmon Nutella plus reindeer calf liver episode. These are usually pretty good. Obviously, reindeers are pretty wild. They eat the wild foods. Obviously, they have the herders there, but they don't eat any bullshit. So they're basically wild animals. I would say these are obviously frozen, which is this kind of tastes like ass though. I'm gonna be honest. This is not the best one. Maybe it's been out from the freezer too long. This one kind of bitter. I don't like it, so I don't think I'm gonna eat it. Maybe I had it out of the freaking... Maybe I had it out from the freezer too long. I think it has been on the fridge for 5 days or something. It kind of went a little bitter. I don't like liver like that. We want that neutral, even sweet flavor. Usually those are pretty good from the Lapland. So I have had them so many times. They're pretty nice. Some fresh reindeer liver would be extremely good, but you would have to go hang out to Lapland where the sun ain't that good and it's getting cold as a motherfucker there. So that's not in the plans. Sadly, that was not a good liver. Anyway, I have made many videos about liver. My opinions about eating liver has kinda evolved. It's still one of the best superfoods human beings can consume if you can get good liver. That's neutral tasting, sweet tasting, not bitter tasting like that one. Fresh liver would be obviously the best, but I think you can have too much liver also, because liver with vitamin A goes together with vitamin D. So if you're vitamin D, they kinda go flip. What's the word? Like if you go high vitamin A, it can kinda run up your vitamin D reserves. So, and if you get a lot of vitamin D, it can kinda run your vitamin A reserves down. So they're kinda hooked like that, like many minerals are. But I wouldn't worry about it too much. But if you eat liver all the time and you don't get any sunlight, it might be a problem, might not. Also, blue light liberates the vitamin A in your opsins and turns vitamin A into a wrecking ball, basically wreaking havoc on your hormones. So maybe having a lot of vitamin A while being under blue light technologies might not be the best idea either. But Nobody's really studying this. You need to experiment on your own. Might not be a problem, might be a huge problem, who knows. But best way to know is just see how you feel. If you feel like you have had enough liver, you have had enough. Listen to your intuition if you can. The problematic part is if you are not connected to this place that we are connected right now, your intuition might not be working. So that's the caveat there, that's the nuance. Most people's intuitions is not to be found, it's not present in their feeling bag. So if you're one of those people, you cannot trust yourself. But if you have good connection with yourself, with nature, good intuition, then you know when you have had enough liver and when you can have more liver. It's pretty freaking simple. Pretty simple. Also, I don't think liver is the best food out there. I never have felt as good from liver as I have felt from seafood. It's pretty simple. Actually, you get just more electrons from the seafood. Jack Roos 15 years ago already had this science on lock. I'm just coming to it a bit late, but I have noticed that in my own life. Just eating a lot of seafood always makes me feel better than eating liver. But liver is still good. Seafood is better in my opinion. But if you can have some fresh liver from freshly slaughtered healthy animals, that kind of liver is probably pretty freaking top-notch nutrition. At least that's what all of the indigenous native people usually used to eat all over the world. But people were eating seafood way more than livers, because seafood is plenty, liver is a little bit more scarce. You just can't slaughter animal every single day in most of these places. So that's something to think about. Also, seafood is way easier to get. Good quality seafood at least. The heavy metals, I haven't found any reason for them to be issue. If you have high melanin, your melanin maxing, that detoxes the heavy metals straight out of you. But also, experiment yourself, see it for yourself, huh? That's how I felt this far. Seafood number one. Organs, pretty good also. Harder to find good organs, but they are cheap if you can find them. And they are obviously good. It doesn't have to be which one is the best. You don't have to do top 10 list out of all the foods you eat. Just eat the local quality foods you can get your hands on and put that shit into your belly, and you're gonna feel good if you're connected to this place and you avoid the technology as much as you can, and you get as much of that thing over there shining on my ballsack right now. But yeah, that's been reindeer liver, salmon Nutella, nature, sunshine on the shack, sunshine on the sack and shaft. Hell yeah, let's get it.